Hey guys, welcome back to Magic TV. My name's Craig. It's 9 o'clock on a Monday, which means it's time for a 5x5. This is where I take 5 subjects related to magic. I spend 5 minutes talking about each subject and I move on to the next subject. It's always quick. It's always snappy. You never know what you're gonna get. Well, today, you do know what you're gonna get because I'm gonna tell you what you're gonna get. What you're gonna get today is you're gonna get a list of 5 items that I think close-up magicians should carry around with them, because having these in your pocket at a close-up gig is amazing. These are 5 props that you don't necessarily have a specific trick that you can do with them, but they are 5 props that you can incorporate into so many different ways. Now, I'm not going to give you any real tutorials about how to use these, but what I will tell you is if you would like me to do a tutorial, like maybe the next 5 different videos about 5 tricks that you can do with these 5 items, let me know and I'll do that for you in the future. That's not a problem. That's what Magic TV is all about. It's about giving you the content that you want. But I wanted to do this video. Somebody asked it in a Q&A. 5 things that I would carry, that I always carry around with me. 5 things that I have with me. And as a close-up magician, you should have these with you as well, because you can do so much really cool, fun stuff with them. And it's not specifically about one individual trick, but it's about having it with you because it opens up so many different options. You'll see. We're going to get into this list right now. I'm very excited about doing this 5x5. So without further ado, let's get to it. Okay, so the first item is going to be a purse frame. That's right, it's going to be a purse frame. Now, I know that the purse frame has been around forever, but I also know that if you're honest with yourself, there's very few people that carry a purse frame around with them. It's one of those things that you buy when you first get into magic. Oh, look, it's a little purse. How cute is that? But you don't really do much with it. And it's a crying shame, it really is, because the purse frame is an amazing prop. It really is. I'm going to say that again, just in case you didn't hear me. The purse frame is an amazing prop that really just elevates so many different tricks. One of the things that you need to do when you first go over to a table when you're doing close-up magic is you need to establish credibility. I've already talked about on this channel about how if you walk up with a deck of cards and say, pick a card, there's a lot of people that are going to be thinking, hang on a minute, I've seen that one before. Even if they haven't, they're going to be thinking, I've seen that one before. So one of the things that we have to do, we have to establish credibility. We have to show we're a little bit different to anyone else out there, is that they're not going to see the same sort of trick that their Uncle John does, where they pull a coin from behind their ear. Well, honestly, I think that the best way to do that is with a purse frame. First of all, you bring a little purse frame out. A lot of people don't carry them around with them because it looks too kiddie. It isn't kiddie. Purse frame's not kiddie. I open a lot of the time my coin routine with a purse frame. When I like to open a lot of the time with coins across, and I have the coins in my pocket, right? And so what I'll do, it could just be used as one quick production. You don't have to do a routine with it. It could be a case of, guys, my name's Craig, I'm the magician. I've heard this is the fun table. I'm going to perform some magic for you. Got a question for you over there, sir. You look very excited to be a part of this this performance right now. Have you ever seen one of these before? No, this is not the top of a purse. Nice try, though. This is actually an invisible purse. Now, I know that sounds ridiculous, but it is. Now, the whole thing's not invisible, but the bag is invisible, which means that anything inside the bag is invisible until you pull it out. I know that sounds ridiculous, but if I want to do a coin trick, I can just reach in and take out the coins. Shall we do the coin trick now? I'll put that to one side. And you can just do it as a running gag. All the time in restaurants, I used to just take my props out of a purse frame. That's all I did. I would open up the purse and I would take the coin. I would open up the purse, take the coins out, put the coins away. Then I'd reach in, take something else out, take something else out, and it was the thing that bridged the entire act together. The other thing is, it just looks impossible. It really does. When you reach in, you take a piece of nothing out of a purse and it turns into something real right in front of their eyes. It's something that really kind of establishes credibility straight away. The other thing is, it works for everything. You want to do a sponge ball routine? Open the routine by taking the sponge balls out of the purse frame. You want to do a coin routine? Open up the routine by taking the coins out of the purse frame. You want to do a trick with a Sharpie? Take the Sharpie out of the purse frame. You want to do a card trick? Here's a great card trick you can do. Have someone pick a card, have them sign it, lose it in the pack, do a Mercury card fold, show the purse, reach in, show it's empty, reach in, take out the folded card. Hell, on my latest Card Magic Academy 2, the final routine of the Academy I did is a routine called the Vanishing, which uses a purse frame. You have a deck of cards, 2 people select cards, you make the faces vanish, and the faces go in the purse frame. Having a purse frame with you allows you to do so much magic. I also love the fact, as a hook, when you're performing. I love the hook of, hey, you probably think that magicians make things appear. Well, that's not the case. We just have access to magic shops that you don't know about. These shops are cool because they sell us things that you aren't even aware of. They sell us stuff that we can use to perform magic for you, and you think we're doing miracles. Like, say, for example, this is an invisible purse, right? That's what it is. A lot of people think that we just make things appear. We don't. We just take it out of an invisible purse. This purse is like Mary Poppins, but you can't even see the bag. If I open it up, I can take it out. How amazing is that? There's so many options open. I've even done mentalism with a purse frame. Really, Craig? Have you? Yes, I have. And yes, I am insane. But there is so much you can do with a purse frame. There's so many different routines you can do. You perform for kids, they get the purse frame. You perform for adults, they get the purse frame. You perform for corporate events, they get the purse frame. Everybody gets the purse frame. Purse frames are cool. And you know what? I love performing with them. If you don't carry a purse frame around with you, you should. You want to make something vanish, putting it in a purse frame. I'm telling you right now, you open up your card set by taking a deck of cards out of an invisible purse, and you close your card set by putting that deck of cards back inside the invisible purse. People sit up and pay attention. They really do. It's these moments of magic, and a lot of the time, I won't even talk about it. Like, Jeff McBride talks about this, doesn't he? About how we should be a magician all of the time. If you were a real magician, you're walking up to people and telling them you're a magician. If you're a magician, shouldn't you be doing everything magic? Like, why are you taking a deck of cards out your pocket? Why don't you just take out an invisible purse, and as you're introducing yourself, open the invisible purse and take the deck out of there, and just don't say anything about it. You're a magician. This shit should just happen to you. And an invisible purse, a purse frame, is one of the best ways to actually put that across. So that's your first one, purse frame. Now we're going to look at the second one. Okay, the second one, I'm going to cheat a little bit. And I'm going to tell you 3 things that you should carry, but it's the same thing. You should carry a Sharpie marker around with you, which I'm sure you will do anyway. You should carry a mini Sharpie around with you, and you should carry a jumbo Magnum Sharpie around with you. Now, the amount of options that you have when you have a Sharpie with you, a lot of the time, if you've ever seen me do like an ambitious card or a card to pocket or a card under deck or something like that, and I have to have the spectator sign the card, I'll just pull the pen from behind their ear, and that'll be the first piece of magic they've seen. So it's like, pick a card, great, can you do me a favor, take this, sign it for me? And it gets a reaction. People are laughing. I then take the pen and I'll put it back where I got it from. That's over here. I then put it away in my pocket and keep bringing it out as a running gag during the course of the show. Yeah, look, the cards come to the top of the pack, which is amazing, but look, the pen's back behind your ear. Stuff like that is what elevates magic as far as I'm concerned. Rather than being a scripted performance, crazy shit is happening and you seemingly have no control of it. A pen, a Sharpie marker, is so easy to manipulate. It really is. You've probably seen, if you've seen the Omni Sharpie tutorial, that's on the Omni Sharpie project by World Magic Shop, you'll know that I have on there a full Sharpie manipulation routine that I perform all of the time. And I love that Sharpie manipulation routine. I really do. I do it constantly. Right? And it's a 30-second bit. It's over in like 30 seconds. But that 30-second bit that it's over in is amazing because it establishes so much credibility. It's like, oh my God, the pen's gone from there. It's over there. It's over there. It's over there. It's over there. What the hell is happening? You have a mini Sharpie with you and you can do size changes. You can have the mini Sharpie go into a big Sharpie go into a mini Sharpie. You can do coin from pen cap. I've got a routine on the Netrix called security pen. I've got another routine on the Netrix where you've got a big pen that goes into a small pen, back into a big pen, into a massive pen. You can take a mini Sharpie, have a little coin come out of it, put it back in, turn it into a big Sharpie. Now the coin comes back out, but it's big. Coin in pen cap is a fantastic routine to do. Then you turn it into a giant Sharpie and you've got bonk, you've got a giant jumbo coin that comes out. There's so many different options. I'll never forget watching Tommy Wonder at the Mark Leverage close-up symposium all those years ago, and I'd never seen really Sharpie manipulation before. And just in the course of his ambitious card, he took the lid off the pen, boom, and the pen became massive. And I was like, what the hell happened there? How did that pen get that size? That's amazing. That's bloody Tommy Wonder doing that. If it's good enough for Tommy Wonder, it's good enough for us. Just taking a little pen and going, here, can you sign your name on this? Actually, this is a little bit small. I think we need it a bit. Boom, bigger. Oh my God. You know, stuff like that. You know, when I talk about this particular video being about stuff you should carry around with you, what I'm kind of meaning is it's props that you should have with you that allow you to play with the audience. And I think that's really important. I think that it's really important to play with the audience. And, you know, a lot of the time, if I take a pen from behind someone's ear and they react to that, I'm going off book. Forget about the trick that I was about to do. I'm going in a completely different direction. And I'm not even considering talking about all of the tricks you can do with gimmick Sharpies. Sharp, available from Penguin Magic right now. I'm not talking about any of that. There's so much you can do. There really is. You guys really should carry 3 Sharpies around with you. I have 2 Sharpies in my top pocket. I have a Magnum Sharpie in my back pocket. I have a mini Sharpie in my left pocket, and I'm good to go. And I could literally do 10 minutes at a table with nothing more than dicking around with Sharpie markers. And if you're not carrying around those pens, why not? If you haven't learned pen manipulation, why not? It's just fun. It's a fun thing to do. Anyway, we're going to move on to the next thing that you should carry around with you now. Let's have a look at that one. Okay, so next up, I'm going to channel my inner David Roth, and the third thing that I think you should carry around with you is a felt hole, is a piece of cloth cut into a circle like that. That can fold up, and you can put it in your pocket, and you can bring it out when you need it and put it down on the table, and call it a portable hole. Why? Why would you carry that around with you? Has Craig gone mad? Why would you carry that around with you? Well, first of all, it means you can do David Roth's portable hole routine, or my various different variations of portable hole, one of which is on the net tricks, one of which is on Nightshade coin set. Lots of different variations that I've come up with over the years. Yeah, the portable hole is one of the best coin routines of all time, as far as I'm concerned. It's absolutely amazing. But outside of that, just having a little felt hole, and calling it a portable hole and putting it onto the table or putting it onto the spectator's hand allows you to just go in so many different fun directions with any type of object. The thing is, a lot of people see that little felt hole and they think coin magic because that's what it was intended for. And realistically, the only thing that's ever been published with one of those little felt holes is David Roth's coin routine. But honestly, if I felt like I could get away with producing a project all about uses for a felt, a circular piece of felt, I would. If I think enough people would be interested, I would do the video on Magic TV. Absolutely fine, because there are so many uses you can do with it. You take a deck of cards and a duplicate card, and you show the felt hole, and you load the duplicate card underneath the hole, and you talk about how you can make things disappear into the hole. You force the duplicate, and you just do a vanish, like a Tenkai vanish, and as you drop it into the hole, and then you pull it out, because the card's in Tenkai, so you just pull it out, and then you do a classic vanish, drop it in the hole, pull it out. You can even have 2 of them, drop it out over there and bring it out over here. You can finish off by rubber-dubbing it on top of the car, on top of the hole, and having it go underneath the hole, and showing the duplicate. You can do it with a sign card. I've got this whole time travel presentation that I use with a felt hole, where the card's going backward and forward in time, and it's being signed and unsigned, a little bit like Gary Kurtz. So many different things that you can do with a portable hole, with a felt hole. So we've talked about coin routines. Well, we haven't. We've talked about the original David Roth portable hole that ironically also uses a coin purse. But there's so many other things you can do with holes, with coins as well. You can do coins across. You can use it as a prop to do coins through table. You can use it as a prop to do cards through table. You can do sponge ball routines where instead of just making them disappear, you're dropping them into the hole and pulling them back out the hole. You can do routines with, you can do the 3-ball trick, the Moira Vernon 3-ball trick, but with a hole. Makes it way much more impressive. There's so many different things that you can do with it. I've used it in the past as a prop where I've made somebody's ring disappear and I've pulled it out the hole. I've dropped it in the hole, it's reappeared over there. Honestly, and it folds up into nothing. You can fold it up and pull it out of a purse frame if you want to, and you can talk about, there's 2 props that you need to have if you're a magician. The first is this makes things appear, like this. This is a hole, this makes things disappear. Now we've got something that makes things disappear and appear. Let's show you something amazing. And then you're into portable hole. There's so many different ways that you can use this. It takes up no pocket space. It's an interesting object. If you're a strolling magician, you can put it onto the palm of somebody's hand and you can have things drop through it. If you've got a magnet built into there, dear good God, Lord Almighty, think of all of the different possibilities. You stick a magnet in 2 pieces of felt, a big honking flat magnet that's got a very shallow width so it doesn't show in there. think of the things that you can do. Think about using Tool by David Stone, but with a portable hole, and all the different things you can do if you can combine both of those. I'm telling you right now, if you've not got a portable hole in your life, go and order some felt, cut a hole. It's up to you which size that you cut, and just play with it. I think that's one of the things with magic, and one of the reasons I create a lot of magic is I love playing. I just play with props. How did I come up with the Svengali deck project or the Mirage deck project? I didn't sit there and force myself to come up with a million routines with the Svengali deck. I just sat there with the Svengali deck and I was like, what can I do with this? Sat there with a Mirage deck, what can I do with this? Sat there with this prop, what can I do with this? You know, that's all you need to do. Sometimes as magicians, it's fun to play around with props. You might not think of anything, but you might think of a million things that's going to make your close-up act so much better. So why would you not do that, right? So my advice is to get a piece of felt, cut a hole out of it, and use it and come up with some ideas and some routines. Anyway, we're going to go now on to number 4, the fourth thing I should carry around with you. Let's have a look. Okay, this is one that probably a lot of people do carry around with them, but I'm going to say it anyway, because I bet there's a lot of people that don't. You should have with you, at all times, flash paper and a lighter. Because honestly, there's so much you can do with flash paper. Oh, but I don't know any flash paper routines, I hear you screaming. Well, figure some out. What is a piece of flash paper? It's a piece of paper that when you light it, it vanishes with a flash. So now you know what flash paper is. What can you do with it? Well, I've done VMCs on the net tricks on flash paper, multiple VMCs. I've published routines on the net tricks with flash paper. I've talked about flash paper on Magic TV. There are so many different ways to use flash paper. My friend, Nemeth Phoenix, who I talk about on this channel probably way too much, one of the best close-up magicians in the world as far as I'm concerned, he walks up to a table. What's his opening thing? He makes a coin appear. How does he make a coin appear? He makes a coin appear with a piece of flash paper. He takes a piece of flash paper, he lights it, coin appears, everyone goes ooh and ah. It was Michael J. Fitch that said to me and David Penn many years ago that flash paper makes any good trick great, and it makes any great trick unbelievable. Flash paper automatically improves any trick. I'm not talking about specific tricks. I'm not talking about Inner Flash by Jay Sankey, or this trick by this person, or this trick by this person, or that trick by that person. I'm just talking about making tricks better. I'm just talking about having some flash paper and doing a routine. You know, maybe you want to do a trick with a pen, and you want to produce the pen by taking a piece of flash paper, lighting it, making a pen appear. Maybe it's you make a prediction on a piece of paper. You write on the piece of paper the prediction, you force the card, you get them to sign it, the prediction matches, and then it turns into their card. There's so many different ways that you can use flash paper if you just allow yourself to have fun with it. And I think that's the theme of this video. That's what I've said over and over again. As close-up magicians, I think we need to just open ourselves up to more ideas. Don't just go and do this trick and this trick. Right, I'm going to open up my set, and I'm going to start off with Chicago Opener, the way that Michael Amar does it. And then after the Chicago Opener, I'm going to go into Inner Flash by Jay Sankey. Then I'm going to go into Evoke by Craig Petty, and I'm going to finish off with Di Vernon's Cups and Balls. Fuck that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that at all. Play with stuff. Think about how you can just incorporate moments into your close-up set that look off the cuff, that look like you're just reacting. That's what I think makes a great close-up magician, where they can just tell that you're not scripted. You're just walking over and you're making it up as you go. And you might not necessarily be making it up, but you carry the stuff around that I'm talking about with you, and you've got more chance of being able to make it up. Flash paper is amazing. It is brilliant. It is awesome. But not if you're not carrying it around with you. So there you go. That's the next thing that I think you should have in your pockets at all time. A close-up magician should have flash paper and a lighter. Now we're going to look at the final thing that I think every close-up magician should carry around with them. Okay, so I think the final thing that every close-up magician should carry around with them is a little pocket mirror. I always have a little pocket mirror with me. Pocket mirrors are cool. Why do you want to have a pocket mirror with you? Well, there's so many different things that you can do with it. I have several coin routines using a pocket mirror that are based on Paul Harris's Eclipse. And I love producing coins in a mirror. I love showing one coin, putting it here, and boom, now there's 2 coins, now there's 3 coins. But there's so many different things that you can do with a mirror. Like if you're carrying a mirror around with you, a little pocket mirror like that, you can do Sticks by Eric Stevens, but instead of using a phone, you can use the mirror. So you can put the mirror on their hand, and you can do Sticks with the paddle. And you can show that it's one color on one side of the mirror or the other, and then you can have them change places. If you know Sticks by Eric Stevens, carrying that mirror around with you is cool. I've got routines where I make 4 coins vanish into a mirror, and then I pop them out the mirror one at a time. If you've got a coin in classic palm and you've got a mirror here, show the mirror both sides, muscle past the coin onto the mirror, and have it go boom, and pop it out. Now just think about that. Put a mirror onto the spectator's hand, show a coin, make the coin vanish, drop it into the mirror. So you take the coin, you drop it into the mirror, and you say, now it's in the mirror dimension. Take the mirror back, show the mirror, and you say, look, it's right there. You can't see it, but if I just do this, now the mirror pops out when you do the muscle pass, pops out into your hand, and you catch it over here. That looks amazing. Think about, and I've got tons of stuff that I'll be, some of it's on the net trick, some of it's not, but I've got tons of stuff with mirrors and coins. But you can do the same thing with a sponge ball. Imagine doing a sponge ball vanish. You take the mirror, you've got the sponge ball in palm here, you tap, and the sponge ball's now apparently into the mirror. You can then reach into the mirror and pull the thing out. Absolutely brilliant. Not a problem. Think about using a mirror with a double-sided coin. And maybe you've done a spellbound move a couple of times and you've switched it for a double-sider, and you do the same thing as the hot rod thing where you show it's silver in one side of the mirror, it's copper on the outside, and then you make it change places and then you switch it. Imagine loading objects underneath the mirror onto a pad or onto the table. So you're doing a coin matrix but with mirrors. Imagine doing a coin matrix with mirrors. How cool would that be? It's all done with mirrors. You know, and there's 4 mirrors, and each mirror has a coin underneath it, and the coins jump into the same thing, and you're vanishing them by putting them into the mirror. I mean, there's so many different ways that you can go with this. And the cool thing is, if you get a small pocket mirror, they're credit card size, you can put them into your wallet, so they can go into the credit card compartments of your wallet. Imagine doing a card routine and using a double facer. And saying, you know, having but holding it together. So you have a double facer with a card on top, and it could be a blank card. I'm just making this up as I go right now. So you show the blank card, and you load the double facer under it. You drop a double onto the table. You have the 2 cards picked, and they're the 2 cards that are on either side of the double facer. They saw that was blank a second ago, or it is blank. You put it there and it's blank, and they can see it's blank. You've got the double facer at the bottom. So then you cop off the double facer and you take the card and you load the double facer onto it. You have the mirror and you say, concentrate on your card. And you put this over the mirror, and as you do, they see their card reflected in the mirror on their hand. Hang on a second, that looked like your card. Was that your card? And as they react to that, you do a half pass. And you say, well, now concentrate on your card. And they saw this blank, remember? And now you wave it over, and now it's their card. And you go, that's kind of weird. Now you cop it off, or you side steal it off. And you go, the thing is, if you don't look at it in the mirror, it's just a blank card. Well, that's awesome. That's a freaking awesome trick, right? Imagine doing a folded up card from a mirror. You know, imagine putting a folded up card under the mirror and doing a switch for it, using the mirror as a switching device, or using a mirror as a mystery box or something like that. There's so many different options. Just because it's not being published in a book, just because it's not being written about, just because people haven't talked about it on the internet, doesn't mean that it can't be created. At some point, every single trick in the world was created by somebody. The next person that creates the next awesome trick can be you. Here's what you do. You look around for crazy shit that you carry around with you. It doesn't have to be a pocket mirror, it doesn't have to be a piece of felt, doesn't have to be an invisible purse, doesn't have to be a piece of flash paper, doesn't have to be anything. Look for something that you look at and you go, you know what, I bought the other day a little 8 ball, and it's just a little 8 ball, but it's one of those magic 8 balls, but it's a tiny version. I'm going to come up with a trick with that. I know I'm going to come up with a trick with that. The whole point about being a magician is being creative from my point of view. That's the fun part of being a magician. Not reading a trick or watching a trick or buying a trick and then doing it the way everyone else does it, but making it your own. create your own magic, buy the trick, and then come up with your own way of doing it. That's how the Svengali deck project came to be, how the invisible deck project came to be. I just bought an invisible deck and I was like, that's cool, but what else could I do with it? And that's what you guys should do as well. Really, really try and train your creativity, because that's the fun part of being a magician. And while you're doing that, make sure you carry a mirror around with you. Right, there you go, guys. That is another 5x5 in the bag. 5 things that you should carry around with you if you are a close-up magician. Now it's over to you. What do you think? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Inquiring minds want to know. Have I missed something off the list? Would you like me to do any tutorials on this? Let me know down below. And if you haven't already done so, I've mentioned the Netrix several times in this video. It's my online streaming platform for magicians, and there is so much content in there. It is ridiculous. If you want to join the Netrix, I would love to have you. It's www.thenetrix.com. But either way, I will see you again soon. Thank you so much for watching. My name's Craig, and this is Magic TV.